He is 38 years old. He just became the greatest World Cup scorer in the history of the sport, men's or women's combined, ever. And somehow, the argument got louder. Not quieter, louder. That should not make sense. A broken record is a broken record. Case closed. Move on. Everyone go home.
Except football does not work that way. And the GOAT debate, greatest of all time if you just tuned in for the World Cup and stumbled onto the internet, is not a football debate at all. It is a philosophy debate, wearing a football shirt. There is a reason for that, a real structural reason. And once you understand it, you will never hear one of these arguments the same way again. You will also realize that most people shouting the loudest have no idea what they are actually arguing about. Here is exactly how it works.
Let us start with the facts. Just the facts. The FIFA World Cup runs every 4 years. It is the biggest single sporting event on the planet. Not the biggest league, not the biggest club competition. The biggest everything. Most elite players get 2 or 3 World Cups in their careers. Some get 1. A handful across the entire history of football have made it to 4. Messi just played his 6th. His first was in 2006. He was 18 years old and scored 1 goal as a substitute. His 6th was in 2026. He's 38, turning 39 during the tournament itself, and he arrived as the defending world champion. Across those 6 tournaments, he scored 18 goals. 18 goals, 6 tournaments, 20 years. The record he broke belonged to Miroslav Klose, a German striker who played in 4 World Cups between 2002 and 2014. Klose's 16 goals stood as the all-time record for 12 years. It was considered untouchable. Serious football analysts called it one of the most durable records in sport.
Messi tied it with a hat trick in his very first game of this tournament, then broke it with 2 goals in the next match. He also missed a penalty in that second game, which briefly made the whole thing more dramatic than it needed to be. Classic Messi, honestly. So that is the record. 18 goals. Outright, alone at the top. Clean. Measurable. Undeniable. So why is anyone still arguing? Here is the thing about the GOAT debate. It is not one debate. It is at least 3 different debates happening simultaneously, using the same words, measuring completely different things. Debate 1, World Cup goals. Messi, 18. Nobody else is close right now. This debate is over. Debate 2, international goals overall. Cristiano Ronaldo has scored 143 goals for Portugal across his entire career. Messi has 122 for Argentina. In this lane, total international goals across all competitions, not just World Cups, Ronaldo still leads. Different competition, different time frame, different number. Debate 3. Club football. Champions Leagues, league titles, individual awards. This is where Messi and Ronaldo spent most of their careers competing directly at Barcelona and Real Madrid in the same league at the same time. That debate has its own scoreboard entirely. 3 debates, 3 different answers. All of them technically correct. This is why the argument does not die. People are not arguing about the same thing. They are talking past each other using identical vocabulary. You now know something most fans watching this World Cup do not know. The measuring stick matters more than the measurement. Here is where it gets interesting, and where most people's understanding of Messi stops. The version of Messi you are watching at this World Cup, record-breaking, calm, decisive,
was not inevitable. It very nearly did not happen at all. Go back to July 2016. Argentina has just lost the Copa America final. It is their third major final loss in 3 years. Messi walks out of the stadium, finds a microphone, and says the words no Argentina fan wanted to hear.
It's over for me with the national team. He did not say it ambiguously. He said it clearly, visibly shaken, outside the locker room. He retired from international football at 28 years old. Now, pause on that. At that moment, Messi had 8 World Cup goals. A decent record. Not legendary. Just decent. The all-time record was never going to happen if he stayed retired. He came back. A new Argentina coach named Lionel Scaloni rebuilt the team around a different philosophy. Not a system designed to simply give Messi the ball and hope, but a proper collective that happened to contain Messi. The results were immediate. Argentina won the Copa America in 2021, their first major international trophy since 1993. Then in 2022, Messi led them to the World Cup title in Qatar, one of the most dramatic finals in the tournament's history. And then, at an age when most footballers are retired or playing in exhibition leagues, he showed up to a 6th World Cup and did this. 12 of his 18 World Cup goals came after he turned 35. That is not a typo. 12 goals after 35. That total is more than most elite players score in their entire World Cup careers. Harry Kane, one of England's greatest ever strikers, has scored 10 World Cup goals in his career so far. Ronaldo has 8. Neymar has 8. Thierry Henry, France legend, scored 6 in total. Messi scored 12. Just in the second act. Now here is the wrinkle. The nuance most people skip over because it is less clean than the headline. Messi's greatness is partly a product of longevity. He has played in more World Cups than almost anyone in history. More games means more opportunities. More opportunities, if you are good enough, means more goals. That is not a criticism. Staying elite for long enough to play 6 World Cups is itself an extraordinary achievement. But it is worth understanding. Klose scored 16 goals in 4 tournaments. Messi scored 18 in 6. In terms of goals per tournament, the gap is narrower than the raw number suggests. That does not change the record. The record is the record. But it explains why some people, particularly those who watched Klose play, feel a quiet resistance. Numbers in football always need context. Always. And then there is Ronaldo. Still active, still playing, still accumulating international goals at a pace that would make most players jealous. The argument between Messi and Ronaldo is, at this point, less about football and more about identity. Which generation you belong to, which style of greatness you were raised to admire. Whether you prefer the instinctive drifting genius or the relentless, machine-like accumulator. Both of those things are real. Neither cancels the other out. Right now, as of this video, Messi has 5 goals in 2 games at the 2026 World Cup. Argentina has already qualified for the round of 32, which is the new knockout round that exists only at this expanded 48-team tournament, by the way. And yes, that is genuinely confusing. And yes, we will explain it in another video. Kylian Mbappe, the French captain and the only player realistically threatening Messi's new record at this tournament, has 16 World Cup goals. He's 26 years old. Whether or not he catches Messi here, the race for football's greatest individual record is, right now, live.
playing out in real time across stadiums in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. You are watching history, whether you fully understood it before this video or not. Here is everything in one place. Messi is 18 World Cup goals across 6 tournaments spanning 20 years. He broke a record that stood for 12 years. He retired from international football at 28 and came back. 12 of his 18 goals came after he turned 35. The GOAT debate continues, not because people are being irrational, but because they are measuring different things. World Cup goals, career international goals, club trophies, legacy in their own country. Each lens gives a different answer. The World Cup goals answer is settled. The rest is philosophy. The game has not changed. You have. You're welcome. Subscribe if you enjoyed this type of content. It means a lot.